Hey, we are here with Kristine Jefferson with some bonus content for you. So if you haven't checked out the episode, make sure you check that out. But Kristine, I wanted to really talk to you a little bit deeper about the way you are crushing it when it comes to raising capital. Can you give us 3 of your tips for raising massive capital for real estate?
I would say my top 3 tips for raising capital would be marketing, communication, and follow-up, and
All
or
right.
marketing slash networking, like putting
So
yourself out there, putting your brand and yourself out there in front of as many people as you can, whether it's platforms, events, networking, and follow-up too. Following up with everyone that you meet. I mean, otherwise, what's the point? And communication, being open, transparent communication with our investors, with my investors, is key to building a trustworthy relationship.
So from a marketing standpoint, you mentioned putting yourself out there. What are some things that we can do to kind of put ourselves out there, especially if you're a little timid or you're uncomfortable, being the front and center? What are some things that you can do there?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I'm introverted, so for me, it's a little exhausting too. Also, I'm not an out there kind of person, so I do get out of my comfort zone to market. But I think it's really key in brand awareness and people getting comfortable with who you are, and being more familiar. Then they'll be more receptive and open to investing. But the point is getting myself out there to provide people an opportunity to invest. Like I'm providing a service and an opportunity for people to invest and coming from it that way. But yeah, getting on podcasts, putting yourself or going to meetups, and talking to people. And it really isn't about talking to people, but it's really about listening to people. And the more you can have people talking to you, the more likely they are to like you. And then you need to just keep that communication open and that follow up and touch points, and kind of cultivate your relationship.
What a powerful tip. I love the fact that it's really not even about you talking. It's really about listening. And as an introvert, that should be easier than that person who feels like they need the spotlight, right? So just really listening to them, because if you listen more, people will feel like they like you more because you listen to them talk about their favorite subject, them, right? So that works out really well. The other part was following up. A lot of us have challenges following up. Like, do you have a system, or do you have something that makes it easier for you to follow up with your investors and keep track of all the contacts you have?
Yes, I do. I do have a system and I have a database. And people are investors. I'll say people because they're not investors yet, but it will be. So so if people go to our website and click invest with us, it's me following up with them rather quickly with a phone call. If I don't get them, to email, schedule a calendar call. It's all about following up. If you go to a networking event, and there are investors at networking events, it doesn't have to be a multifamily networking event. It can be something else. But when you get someone's contact information, instead of bringing it home and just letting it sit on your desk, that would be a waste of a time to have gone to that event, is to follow up with those people, because most people do not follow up. You will stand out if you follow up with the people you meet.
And then that last one was communication. So what are you doing from a communication standpoint that allows you to elevate beyond what other people are doing?
Mm-hmm. Communication also, it's kind of like fallen away a lot. We get so tied up and busy in our lives. And the communication is key in being transparent. Investors that we already have, or people that we're working with, just staying in touch with them. If, for instance, the property it does get extended, is to let the investors know, right, everything that's going on. I mean, the most important thing would be to almost over communicate. No one's going to complain about you telling them too much information. So over communicating is probably where the best place to be, versus lack of communication. The lack of communication is, it could kill things.
That's it. And I love it. You gave three powerful tips right there for us to raise big time capital. The first one is networking and marketing, right? So putting yourself out there, getting in front of people, and really just listening to them. The second piece was following up. Don't be one of those people who just collects business cards. Make sure you follow up when people are interested in learning more about you. And the third thing is communication, communication, communication. Almost to the point where you're over communicating, but making sure that your investors and people that you work with are not in the dark, but they understand what's going on and they will grow trust with you. Thank you for sharing those three powerful tips, Kristine. This is amazing bonus content. If you haven't heard the full episode, make sure you click the button below and you can check out our full interview where we talk about everything from partnerships to investing in secondary and tertiary markets. Kristine Jefferson, thanks for coming on today.
Thanks, John.